And my take is mostly on what did you expect? You know what I'm saying? And you know, after the show, I see a lot of people comment on, yeah, the president this, the president that, or um, you know, TPUSA having their own show, so forth and so on. And it's like, what did you expect? This is America, bud. Like, like we already know what the answer was or is. You know what I mean? Like, people seem to forget, they always forget that segregation wasn't that long ago. 1964 was the Civil Rights Act. 1964, that wasn't that long ago. President Trump was 18 years old. 18 years old when civil rights ended. Like when, well, I mean, I guess when segregation ended in America. So that means that Trump was going to school. When Trump was in school, or majority, not even majority, most of the people that are currently running the government or, you know, that are in power, when they were in school, they were probably going to school in segregated environments. What does that mean? What are the implications of that? Like, why am I bringing that up? I think people, even though that doesn't mean that they are racist or they have thoughts that are of segregated thoughts or they still want that thing to be real or they want everybody to be segregated still. That's not what I'm saying. Not at all. What I'm saying is, or what I'm trying to convey or get across is, bro, listen, people have biases. We're all humans, okay? We have biases that sometimes we're not even aware of. Things that carry over from our past, from our experiences, right? Is Trump racist? I don't know. I don't hang out with him, and you know what I'm saying, or like, is everybody else who's experienced segregation racist? I don't know. That's very, like, that's a very, there's no proof of that. Like, I can't prove that. I don't think that's a sound argument or sound present thing to even like bring up, if that makes sense. But we can at least question it on a good faith argument. We can question it. Cause, let me see. Cause I did look this up. Segregation in the U.S. ended around 1954 and 1968. And Trump was born in 1946. Meaning that Trump was 18 years old from 1964, which is the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which is, Congress passed a law to prohibit businesses, basically which goes along with the Commerce Clause, which is the rights of Congress which give Congress the rights to regulate commerce across state lines, right? And in 1964, there are some big cases, like, for example, the Hart Motel of Atlanta versus the U.S. Supreme Court, which upheld that Congress does have the right to regulate commerce across state lines, and that you cannot discriminate against other people. So that shit was going on in 1964 or even earlier, that people were, fighting for segregation still, even after the Civil Rights Act. And during all of that, Trump was just an 18-year-old boy. 1964. I mean, that does not mean that he can change his mind or his perspective can be different. I just want to 1946. I just want to be clear with that. 18 years old. Meaning that, at that time, he's on his way out of high school. And I'm sure he was going to schools where either it's fully white, because Trump grew up with the diamond spoon in his mouth. Either civil rights ended completely or entirely, or he was going to an all-white school. I mean, either he was going to a segregated school or he was going to an all-white school, which I think he was probably going to an all-white school. What do you expect? The other part of this is, like, Bad Bunny is technically American. He has, what the fuck am I talking about? He is an American. Technically, it's not even a word right now. He is an American. He has a blue passport because Puerto Rico, as you all know, is a territory of the United States. It's like somebody from Guam or from Hawaii, although it's a state, from Hawaii performing at the Super Bowl, and we're like, no, this is not American enough. If he's not American, give the country back. Like let them go. And we can have it both way. And I think it's, for me personally, this is like personal opinions. From me personally watching this, it's like eyebrow raising. Who is an American? If the people that y'all claim to be a territory aren't American, then what makes you an American? But I mean, everybody has their opinion on the Super Bowl show itself. And I thought the show was dope. I mean, it represents, I mean, if you grew up on an island, as you can tell by my accent, I grew up on an island. Like, if you grew up as an island boy, I'm an island boy. I'm just trying, shut up, nigga. I mean, if you grew up in the islands, you know all these things to be true, even in Florida. Like, if you live in Florida and like South Florida, a lot of these things is like culturally still relevant. And the islands like DR and Haiti, and they're known for their like sugar cane and coffee and having all of that, and having street food and street vendors. Like, that's very Hispanic culture, like, or Latino, whatever, right? So it's a representation of his culture. I don't see nothing wrong with that. And that culture is American because Puerto Rico is part of America. You could draw that conclusion. And I don't think you'd be crazy to do that. So I guess the main question is the backlash coming from, and also the other thing is, man, we've had other people perform at the Super Bowl who weren't Americans. Shakira is not American. And I'm sure she performed at the Super Bowl. Let me see. Shakira, Super Bowl 2020. J-Lo is not an American. Well, before I say she's not American definitively, J-Lo, country of origin. Oh, I am wrong. I stand corrected. But I know for sure that Shakira is not American. Yeah, she's from Colombia. And she performed at the Super Bowl. And nobody was outraged by the fact that, a non-American performed at the Super Bowl. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the outrage is this time. You know what I'm saying? And also the fact that people are outraged. I don't even want to read the president's tweet regarding this. I should Truth Social post regarding people dancing like this or shaking their butt like that. We literally have, what's the dude that speaks like a frog? JFK Jr. talking about how he sniffs coke off a toilet seat. And he is, let me see if I can find that video. And he is running the health department of the United States of America. Like, and this is what we're worried about, this show right here, or this people shaking their ass. And it's not even vile, like, in the way that they're dancing, and the way people are dancing. We have worse problems to worry about. And I don't know what else could be driving the angry mob to hate on this performance, or to try to do an all-American show opposite of this, besides a little bit of, like, racism. I think overall, my whole argument, or my whole, if I was presenting this as a case, my whole case would be, I would have to conclude that there's some kind of, underlying prejudice or racism that is making them state that this show is not American. Like, is Puerto Rico not part of America? And also, talk about no English, Lady Gaga was in there. There's like, that lady is so talented, man. She is, She's not my type, but she is beautiful, and I think she is very, very talented. She is weird. That is to say the least. She is a very weird person, but she is so talented. I think she is a good actress. She sings well. Good on her. But Lady Gaga is American. Well, let me double check that too. Well, I mean, obviously that Lady Gaga is American. I want to know where she was born. Lady Gaga, where is she from? Lady Gaga is from New York, New York. So that's as American as it gets, unless New York is not part of America too. I mean, they do have a hella immigrants over there. So, New York is the hubs of all the immigrants out there on that East Coast. You have the Floridas, the immigrants haven, New York on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? Like Italians and all these different Eastern people. Also, here's the other thing. Like when I was watching this, watching the backlash or the pouring of the outpouring of I guess I don't want to say hatred of disgust with this show and it's not all American. I currently live in Wisconsin, and I have to say I now understand why certain people are racist or why prejudice exists. Some of these people, they literally have never left the state of Wisconsin. They have never left their farm. And even going to the biggest city Milwaukee is the most well-known city, but Madison is the capital. Some people do not like to even go to the capital of Madison. And Madison doesn't even have that much crime in comparison to some bigger cities, like bigger capitals. And some people literally are disgusted with the idea of traveling to a small city like Madison. How many people lives over here? Madison, Wisconsin, population. 285,000. That's a small city. Madison, Wisconsin, crime rate. It is higher than the national average, but to me, it's virtually non-existent. To me, it's virtually non-existent. And some people, they call it dirty. I don't know why. Maybe because, certain people of color lives in Madison in comparison to other parts of the state. But the state to me, is clean. There's no if you go downtown, you wouldn't find. Of course, there's homelessness everywhere. There are a few homeless people in downtown, but I've not encountered a single crime in progress or somebody being belligerent. But people still call it dirty, and people try their best to avoid even going downtown, which is okay. But other people that I've spoken with from having to work, they don't even want to travel outside the state. Mind you, travel outside of the country. So their exposure to other cultures, which is why traveling is so important, man. If you have the ability to travel and see the world, you should, and experience other cultures and experience what other people are experiencing outside of your little town. You should, because it broadens your knowledge so much. It makes you appreciate the things that we have in America, which is a good thing. It makes you appreciate things that we have in America, but it also makes you appreciate other cultures and other people. It makes you appreciate the differences of, what makes Puerto Rican culture beautiful. It makes you appreciate what makes other people different instead of just what farm life. Oh, I'm good with this farm life, and all I need is my cows. Bro, you have to experience things, and sometimes I try when I have these conversations with people, I try to tell them you have to experience things outside of the world. The world is not just burgers and fries, you know what I'm saying, and cheese curds, which is very popular in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is known for the cheese. Go outside, go experience the world, travel. I know we don't all have money to travel. Take a little trip somewhere else, somewhere that's different, other than like the state that you were born and gonna die in.